So what I've got here is my mesh is complete. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to unwrap the arm. And if you notice, I have, I'm going to deselect these. If you notice, I have the arm almost selected up to where I want it to be. Let me just deselect some of these faces. Okay, so this is the part of the arm that I want to unwrap. Now the easiest way I have come up with so far to unwrap this is to run a, first let me go here, panels, layouts, saved layouts, persp UV editor. So the best and fastest way I've figured out how to unwrap things so far is to go UV camera based, and I'm gonna go in here and you'll see right away that this is the what I want to select. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to get some of this stuff out of the way, and I need that arm. Get the rest of this out of the way. All right. Cool. Now, I've unwrapped the arm to an extent as far as it's all one object in this view. So what I need to do now next is I need to create my seam. And to do that, I need to go into my edge mode. And this is probably the fastest and easiest way I've come up with so far. And I'm going to select this edge running down the arm. And almost there. Okay, so I've got that selected, and I'm going to run a UV, and I'm going to cut UV edges. So, or you can do it here, polygons, cut UV edges. Now, on the same arm, what I can do is I can go to my tool, smooth UV tool, and it should and I'm going to check the settings on here just to make sure. Let's see. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and start to unwrap it. And once you get it to a certain point, you could even just run a polygons unfold. And this will unfold it for you. Now, one of the things I see here is I don't want to pin any of my UVs, so I'm going to try that one more time. And polygons, tool, smooth UV tool, and applying UV spacer world will change the way it unfolds. I'm noticing it's unfolding a little bit better if I go into UV space. and I'm just clicking and dragging on the unfold. But one thing is we don't have to cut and move and sew seams. The other way, let me just check my settings on here. I don't want to pin any of my UVs, and that should be good. And I'll hit apply, and we'll see how it unfolds it. Oop. I think that's actually pretty good considering, and now I'm going to go ahead and make it super large, just for the time being. Now when unwrapping an object like this, you want to make sure that you assign new material, go to Lambert, edit, delete all by type history, and under here I'm going to select the checker and press 6, and you're going to see this checkerboard. And now what you're trying to do is, when it's all said and done, you're going to want all of your checkers to appear approximately the same scale. So this should be tool, smooth UV tool, and go ahead and unfold it to the best that you can. And I'm getting a little bit more out of it, but only so much. Alright, now you're trying to make it as the squares as evenly sized as possible, and I'm getting a little different orientation here in the square, but it's just because it's coming up the arm. At the moment there's nothing I can really do about it, but ideally you want it to look all approximately the same squares. So you'll see I've got this one here. The next one I'll do, just to show you what's happening here, I'll go ahead and select all of this and all of this, and I'm going to go select contained faces, UV automatic, and I'm just going to go ahead and unwrap the body and everything that I had selected there, just so I can sort of visually see it over here. Move that out of the way. And as well as the face, I had already kind of started. I'll show you how to unwrap it again. And you'll see it's still a little wonky. So let's just say for the face itself, select contain faces. Select, there we go. So with this face here, what I'm going to do to unwrap this, I just have quickly selected my whatchamacallit, faces. So I'm going to show you, if I select all my faces, I can go in here, UV, I can do camera based or I can run a cylindrical. Now cylindrical is pretty useful in this situation here, and it looks like something like this right off the bat, so it looks pretty decent, and I didn't select any of the faces inside the mouth. And I'm going to go tool, smooth UV tool, and I'm going to unfold, and you're going to see you get this strange overlapping in the mouth. If that happens, try to relax a little bit, and then unfold, unfold, unfold. And you're only going to be able to get it to a certain point. Sometimes you'll luck out, but for the most part you're going to get some weird overlap. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to go with that. And now I'm going to scale it much larger. Ooh. and you'll see over here that I have my seam right here in the back of the head. Polygons moving so. UV edges. So you'll notice right here in the back, you can get a little bit better square spacing on the front here of the face, so they are smaller if you run your seams directly behind basically the ears going down here, and then you'll have two seams. I'm just going to stick with this one, and I'm going to go with that one, but I'm going to go ahead and show you some other things. So now that I've got that all good, go over here, and I'm just going to select up to here. I'm going to do the other arm, and this is how you do the entire mesh. So you do this for the fingers, you'll do this for the legs, arms, body, torso, everything. Okay. Now I'm going to deselect these. Okay, so now I only have oh man, I selected all the faces. Damn it. Okay, well, I'll do this again. And this is a long process. It's confusing too, but it's really one of the most important things to know, because you can make a bad model look good with great texturing, but you can't take a bad texture and apply it to a good model and expect the same results. You need to have a good texture on there, and this is how you start that process. Now I know this is confusing, but it really is sort of what will make or break your model. Okay, let's go ahead and see here. All right. All right, so all right, there we go. So now I've got just the arm selected again. UV. Now I could do that camera base again, and if I were to do a cylindrical, it'd probably be okay, but I'll show you anyway. So UV, I showed you the camera base, I showed you cylindrical on the face, and I'll show you cylindrical once again, and here I'm going to want to change this to -90 degrees, so it's going to project it this over here. And then the other thing is that if you have it your arm in a T-pose, you're going to go -90 on X too, so then you get that projection across the arm, but mine isn't in a T-pose, So I'm going to leave it like so. Or, and then you have to go in and fix this. Or you can do it this way, which seems to be a little bit easier right now. UV, camera based. And then we're going to go ahead and select that arm seam there, and then polygons, cut UV edges, and tool, smooth UV tool, and we can start to unfold it right away. And let's just keep that going. And you have to do this quite a number of times. And there we go. So now press 6, Shift I, and I'm going to now line it up to be approximately the same size as the other unwrapped arm. And now I'll do one more for the time being, and I'm going to do the body. So in here I've got this one, and I'm getting some terrible glitching here. Okay, so now I'm just going through and selecting the faces needed that I need to unwrap this. And there we go. So just continuing through. I had a belt here and I just took it out for the time being. I would want to have that belt in there, but for right now I'm not going to worry about it. As I work between two files, one from home sometimes and one at the school. So I'm just going to go down to about that point, maybe one higher up. Maybe I'll go up to there. So now for the chest, I can have the seam right down the back. I can have it run down the side. It really depends on how you want to do it. In this case, just to make it easy, I'm going to run it right down the middle of the back. I'm going to run a UV cylindrical. I don't have to worry about changing the direction since it's all right there. And I'm going to go here and go to Tool and Smooth UV Tool, and I'm going to unfold this one. And you'll see here in just a moment. Oh, looks like I've got... Oh, and you'll see one more thing. I've got this edge right here that's connected here. I want to cut that edge so I can put this Polygon UV over here. So Polygon, Cut UV Edge, and then I'm going to select these and move and sew. And then I just moved it in place and sewed it. Now, Tool, and I'm going to unfold this a little bit more. I don't know, something like that. For the time being, go over here. And the goal is you want to make the squares all approximately the same size. So then, once you get that far, you go on to the legs, and you do the legs and the torso and everything. You'll do each hand individually, and you see where I'm going with this. So start with that, and then we'll work our way through. Thanks for watching.